completely, really.
Right. If we can rewind just a little bit, was Top Dog ever supposed to be a solo artist before he met Louisville and Strange?
They didn't know what to do with me.
Okay.
Because I thought I was a part of Smith & Wesson. I thought, like, yo, it's going to be live trying to call me. I thought it was going to be your, say, like, yo, hold up. You know what? Now, we got to find him somebody. You're going to find him. And it's crazy because Drew High, he was doing his little rap at the time. So he was going to be my partner with his homeboy Cappy and some other white boy. So it would have been me, a light-skinned black dude, and two white boys. That shit would have been crazy. I don't know what we'd have been. I don't know if we could have been O.G.C.
Right.
Would have been something. We probably have been Duck Down. That would probably been the name of our rap crew, Duck Down.
Right.
That shit would have been weird. But no, I was never supposed to be a solo artist, bro.
So how did Louisville and Strange come into the picture?
Well, Strange, we all grew up together. Strange grew up in a building behind mine, and Louisville grew up in a building in front of mine. He was actually from the same project. Strange grew up in the building, like we used to call it the White House. So we all grew up playing basketball, school, all that. Strange hung out with Ruck and Rockmore because they was in the same. They was going to the same school up in the city, and Louisville. He just was him and Rock grew up in the same building, so they was together more. And being that Rock and Ruck was running around together, they was like, they got to win. Like, yo, still looking for somebody to get up a dog. So it was Strang. It was actually four of us. Strang, God bless his dad, my Brody, Bad Vibes, the original Gun Clapper #2, and Louisville. And we was just trying out stuff. We was just going to record, just record. And we just recorded a bunch of stuff and gave it to Drew. And from there, we just sat back and they like, yo, we got your idea. Fuck out of here. A deal. And that shit just had me, woof. Like, yo, we really about to go wow that way, yo.
Right.
And that shit was everything. I'm like, I'm 19 years old. Like I just getting out of, like, just about to say fuck high school type shit. Like, yo, man, I got to think of something out. I'm gonna, I just caught my GED type shit, and got a deal.
What was that creative process like working with those two on The Storm?
It was pretty. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was just like just chilling with your bros, really in your own crib type vibe. Cause like you would fall asleep in the studio. The studio, that was our second home. If it wasn't the studio, we was at my crib in the dog hilly, just writing, listening to what tracks we're gonna use or whatever the case may be. We had to get into who each other was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up with each other and all this other stuff, but we really ain't know each other. The swag movements, like we teenagers. Now we ain't day ones and all that other stuff like that. We just cool. So he's like, all right. You see, my style was different than Strange. Strange had, you know what I'm saying? He did pushing in the car, pushing in the whip. I'm the laid back. I'm the soldier man. Them now I talk about sin, and the batter is the so quiet riot like the pretty boy Louisville Slugger. But nobody got a chance to know Bad Vibes was he was the funny, articulate, put the words worth. But nobody got a chance to really get to hear him. But right. Yeah, that was definitely a good experience. That's what it bonded us for that ride, that trip out there into the world of what we didn't know.
What kind of tours were you part of during this time? Some of your favorite memories and what was going on at that time? 95, 96, right?
Yeah. 96, the 96 tour, that was my favorite because that was the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We was on tour. Boot Camp was on tour with Bad Boy, Jay-Z, M.O.P., Lost Boys, and J. Rule the Damager. So I'm still a fan. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, I'm on tour. Like the shit I see, I'm thinking of movies like Crush Groove and all that shit. I'm like, yo, I'm a part of this fucking world right now, man. So
Right.
I'm more of a fan than even worrying about me being the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like from the last time I've been on stage, I still get butterflies until I fill out the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm like, I would go stand at like, we all did it, but we'd go just stand like dance. And I stand on the stage and watch Jay perform, go stand on the stage and watch Big perform. And like just I just be thinking like, damn, so we all was just like this around each other to where like Big is going, probably can't even get this close to Jay no more. Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What we touched and what is so far away from us now. The experience that I got from that, I'm like, nobody can take that away from me. That's why I'm like, I don't regret nothing. Maybe just not speaking up more, but I was still learning. You know what I mean? And having a manager and people got to go through the manager, you never know what's really spoken about unless you got your ear to the streets. But 96 tour was definitely better, but was the best. It's always the first that's better than the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
After
So
that Storm album, after the Storm album dropped, how did life change for Top Dog?
Oh, I became a star, they said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nigga, I had to wear hats like this.
Oh yeah.
I had to cover up shit like that. But I'm too humble to do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I still, even though I had a car, I still got on the train to go to the city. Because you know how it is driving to the city. I still went shopping on Pickens Avenue. I still went downtown Fulton to the Fulton Mall. I still, when Priority Records was on 18th Street, I still went and got my check from 18th Street and walked all the way down the canal, slowly down Broadway, shopping. You know what I'm saying? I still went up to 42nd Street just to go up there to because I used to love 42nd Street when I was little. And then my mother told me I couldn't go. I was like, shit, I'm older now. They took all this crazy shit away. And I did get a chance to see go to some of the crazy ass movies and theaters they had up there. But you know what I mean? Stuff that I always want. I like to be out and about. I like to see people. I like people.
Right.
I got, you know what I'm saying? I just like it's the heart. Like we're not dogs and caged animals. So like you get out there and experience life.
For your first project, was Top Dog pleased with the overall product?
First album?
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, no.
Was something
Because
missing?
I wasn't because I look at how we did our second album and how a lot of other people did. They went through what they think. You know, some people have songs. Oh, we got songs that never made the album. For us, every song we recorded made the album. So I kind of found that like kind of weird. I'm like, nah, this shit ain't going. They just got us recording shit like that. Song saying, nah, that's good. That's good. I'm thinking everybody yes man and me like, no, boy. Now everybody trying to saying like all this shit. I'm in my head, I'm like, I don't even like that shit right there. Like the No Fear was one of the singles. I'm like, yo, I didn't want to do that single. I was like, yo, I think we should do the other shit. I'm like the top or set sound. You know what I'm saying? With other song, Elite Fleet, because we had them out. If we did that, that way it would have been easier for them once they signed the Duck Down. But the way that they so-called wanted to keep everything, it was harder to pretty much you gotta stay on your own toes. And that right there, that's what a conflict between being a solo artist and having two other members, because everybody gotta agree.
in '97, you guys came together for the people as the boot camp clique. Why was Beatminerz absent from that project?
97.
Yeah.
Um,
What was going on with the Beatminerz and the boot camp clique to where you guys abandoned that sound?
it was pretty much it was a transition, a try, pretty much. It was like it made not a lot of sense to not have them on it, but we still had, like, O.G.C still had like 2 or 3 tracks from them, but it was on somewhere like they wanted to try something new, just put a whole different genre of beat makers instead of just keep it all one in house, like how Shiz with the Shug with, not Shug, Shiz Swiss Beats, or how not Rockefeller, how Bad Boy had it when he had Daddy's House and all that other stuff. He had in-house beat makers, and you know, everybody is a sound that you want to keep and don't let out. But yeah, the idea of that was, it was a gift and a curse for a lot. You know what I mean? Just for working with people, different people, good, but for the sound, it kind of threw people off.
You guys went on to work together on The Chosen Few, The Last Stand, Casualties of War. How hard was it for you to be heard on these projects with so many MCs? Was it an easy creative process, or how hard was it to work with everybody at once?
Oh, it started getting crazy. I ain't gonna even hold you. But yeah, everybody had something they wanted to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like it was more, it was a lot of egos as we got older. It was a lot of egos. So we became our worst enemies, so to speak, in that studio. And so if I tell you, if you whatever you bringing ain't good enough to make the cut, you might look at me like, what? I'm already who I am, champ. Like, what you talking about? The people want to hear me. It's not up to what you say, cause let them judge. So a lot of that whole situation right there was kind of shaky, but the Chosen Few wasn't so bad because Rock wasn't there, so they couldn't just have a bunch of Smith Wesson Buckshot and Rock without Louisville top and strength. They need to have that whole shit filled in. So by the time we doing the Casualties of War, and Rock is back. Now Rock got a lot of shit to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rock got a lot of shit to say because he back. So it's like, all right, we listening to these dudes like we in a soap opera, some shit like, oh, all right. And they just doing shit. I'm like, all right. So we started getting pushed out. I started realizing, like, all right, we did a lot of songs, but when it came down to the album cut, like, yo, we this is what made the cut. So I look at it like, what? So what? Huh? That's how y'all feel? So now niggas like, you know what? I'm about to start recording. I'm about to start working on my shit. Not that. So that's what happens amongst groups when people start not feeling like they was, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not thinking what the people that everybody, yeah, well, yo, the boot camp album, how many times you on that album? Something like 3?
Right.
That's crazy, nigga. Ain't you boot camp?
Right.
Hey, my nigga. People ideas, that's their ideas, not for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You guys end up dropping The Empire Strikes Back in '99. What was the thought process, and how much pressure was it to record your sophomore album?
It was no pressure at all for the second album. Like I said, the second album was the fire album because we just finished, we just went through that whole transition of the 96, 97 loss of Big and Pop, and not knowing what Priority Records was going through until later, but it was like a push. So whatever we asked for from the record label, they was giving us, and we thought everything was Gucci. You know, I just like, yo, as long as you supply the heat, they gonna make sure that we eat. So I'm like, all right, we doing everything right. But like I said, once we dropped in 99, and we was about to start our tour. We started our tour, summer tour, all the way until, and the towers dropped. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, promotion stopped. People ain't know what to spend their money on. They was like, should I get the fuck out of here? I gotta save and think about life instead of music and who going to perform with?
Right.
And it was like, what the fuck we gonna do? Like, how the hell we gonna make people buy a fucking album? Like, almost 2,000 something people just died and shit. And everybody talking about going to war. So it's like, yo, that shit had everybody at a standstill. And I say that same year I had my first son.
Okay.
So I sat my ass down for a while and like, yo, you know what? Figure out what you're gonna do. Because this is the point where, in the point of the music world where shit gets to where your parents said, I'm like, boy, that shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. Like, no, we ain't about to go there. We ain't going there with that one. And I say maybe it took us another 2-3 years. 03, then we did 05. That's when we did the Chosen Few, I think. And
As of right now, what is the status of O.G.C?
the status of O.G.C. right now, me and my me and Starang Gun One, we just did an interview, and we just sat down before the interview and was coming up because he got a few projects solo and together with other artists, and we're gonna put together a little EP that we working on. We just trying to just articulate a good spot and what and the pick of the music and sound, you know. So the sitting down of grown folks, that's the hard part. Especially, I'm like, I don't care how hungry a person say they are, but some people's responsibility is not everybody else's responsibility. So I can't make people say, yo, this is what we're gonna do. But I know my plans for a 25th anniversary tour, that's what I'm working on. If they open that up, I'm blasting on that. And they're gonna have to come to terms with that, because if they turn that House of Blues, then they might as well just stop everything. Because where you gonna perform at if you're not gonna show House of Blues, which has been showing us so much love, that you want to perform at their venue?
Right.
So I'm like, that's gonna be the open up of whatever projects that String has, that I have, or Louisville has. I mean, branch, that's the whole Timberland tree. We branch off. Whatever you got, we bring to the table, and whatever, that's how you keep growth.
What's
That's
the
how you grow.
overall status of the boot camp clique as a whole?
Right now, Smith and Wesson, you know, the last album they dropped, you know, the All, they were still on tour for that. They had to be on, they postponed that because of the whole covert thing. He still has a solo project. Tech has a solo project. Rock has a solo project right now. Bernadette, with Sean Price, wife, she has just a couple of more little things here and there from Sean Price. And Buckshot, I think he just released, or he about to release, another album. In my project, which is a bunch of everything with production and plus recording, string projects with all different new music that he got. I know and then I think they're trying to do a Bucktown album, and I believe this is supposed to be under Nervous.
Okay. So it sounds like the boot camp clique is all still intact and working.
Yeah. Especially now, I'm like, this is the industry. This is a family. It's something that you can't never really leave it. You can't never really leave it. If you call yourself trying to mosey on down the Yellow Brick Road, go sit your ass over there in the cabin, and disappear and grow some hair, cool. But if you call yourself still trying to shake your ass and chill with the best of them, somebody gonna recognize you, champ.
Right.
So you either gonna do something about it, and you know what I'm saying? Because a few cats was ready to give up. It was like, yo, but the fans was like, yo, nah. I'm like, I get on the bus, get on the train and stuff. I'm like, oh, I see a cop. And to see them, like, yo, I got through college through y'all stuff. That's my motivation right there. I'm like, what?
That's what's up.
Like, I'm cool. I'm like, I know, because we did all the college, we did all the black, we did it. And there's people that got good ass jobs that's like, yo, y'all music's got us through. I'm like, wow, that should.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan of y'all, and that should feel great.
Absolutely.
I would be an asshole.
We got about 10 minutes before we get out of here. I got some questions from your supporters. DITC Forever wants to know why you guys diss Biggie on No Fear.
We didn't diss Biggie. It was a misunderstanding with the fake Biggie in there because Bad Boy was one of the labels that we shopped to early. And Bad Boy was one of the labels that didn't want O.G.C. and Helter Skelter. They wanted Helter Skelter and O.G.C. as Bad Bob. So they heard the tracks that we did, which one of them tracks was the No Fear song. Which it had me singing I could be as good as the best. And being that we still up and coming, we still doing our thing. And you know how Puff get down. They took that hook and put it on the new, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Money.
Right, the remix.
So you're like, damn, son, we all still in the same studio. We still just finished touring together. And it wasn't my idea. I don't know who idea it was to put the fake Biggie or the Montel Jordan, because nobody was saying nothing about Montel Jordan, because he only said, like, Montel Jordan, I'm giving a warning. Nothing about dissing Montel. They were so hyped of the whole what Pac was doing, because we was fucking with Pac like that. So it was like, oh, it looks good. That shit was not looking good. But that was a misunderstanding. They're like, yo, damn, son, that's some fucked up shit. Niggas took your hook and did that shit. Which they should have had Puff dancing on somewhere like this. Doing a Harlem Shake or some shit and let nigga alone. Because he is from Brooklyn and we definitely banged on Harlem niggas a lot with all that shaky wiggly shit. Right. So I'm saying that would have been a better look for us. Because I know when the video was coming on, instead of them seeing Big and getting mad and they saw Puff, they probably just bust out laughing like, nigga. Right. I know, so because I still see Season and it's like, no, we fuck with each other. You know what I mean? That's another thing. I'm gonna try to get some music. I'm gonna try to get some music done with them too. O.G.C. and Junior Mafia. You heard D.I.T.? You heard?
Tri-Barrel Gigolo wants to know why the members of O.G.C. have never pursued solo careers.
I'm a team player, and I know I've been telling people I was working on a solo. But it seemed like every time I started, it was always another project that was coming about. And I just said, I think I was just trying to keep myself relevant by just doing a lot of different features with different people, especially overseas. And anybody that's, even if they was up and coming rappers, I'm like, I wasn't tearing their pockets up. Some of them I probably just doing just on the strength. But just so they like, yo, I like one of Pac rules, like, yo, just keep recording. And one of my brodies, which is the late Sean Price, was like, yo, just record, my nigga. Just record what it is. The same way we just talked for an hour, we could have did a couple of songs if there was the right lyrics that we were saying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Jason Padditz wants to know, can you explain Session on Dog Hill?
Session at the Doghouse?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
I don't know why.
That's my crib. That's where it all started at on East New York, Linden Boulevard. That's where everybody used to come sit and circle up and smoke and get they, that Indian cipher and get their shit together before they make moves. That's where everybody came and formulate that plan. That's where it all started. The Dog Hilly. So we used to chief and we used to have that session.
Your best memories of Ruck?
all just crazy ass. We just was a bunch of clowns. We cracked jokes all fucking day. Smoke weed, crack jokes, and watch mad bootleg movies.
What's up?
What?
Is there a Blacksmith and Wesson album that exists?
Blacksmith and Wesson Connection album? They got a few songs. I hear is one in the making though. I don't know. That's probably something that you just heard.
Before we get out of here, can Top Dog tell us how do you feel about the state of hip hop in 2020?
With this COVID shit,
just the music. Let's take the COVID away. Just
the state of what I'm listening to right now.
Right.
I'm like, it's music. I'm like, if you listening to the right stuff, I'm like, it depends. If you listen to the radio, then you're gonna hear what they want you to hear. I'm like, you gotta tune into what you want to tune into. So, the state of hip hop is what it is. The state of the industry is kind of weird, and it always been. So I'm like, I never had a genre of music. I get down to all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I get crazy with it. I get crunk with it. You know what I'm saying? I get on the shooter chain with it. You know what I mean? I get laid back when I get spiritual with it. All that.
Right.
Everything. But you know, I'm still on my yardie, and now I'm pretty much a lot of R&B.
Old school R&B, new R&B.
Old school, new school, all of it. All of it. No matter how, even young dudes. I don't got no age limit.
Where does Top Dog see itself in the next 10 years? I
see myself in the next 10 years doing pretty much what Mike Tyson and Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, doing, sitting on a farm with a bunch of marijuana, selling it to the people that's probably mentally fucked up from all the shit that's gonna be going through, what they're gonna be going through the next 10 years. Trying to fix this earth, trying to fix people. You know what I mean? Promoting everything good, life.
Before we get out of here, and for all the new people that logged on, can you tell everybody what to expect from Top Dog upcoming projects and where they can find you on social media?
Well, you can find me, my email, if you have beats or you want to get up and do some music, or if you have anything that you want to get done, the email would be IEPINCORP@gmail, and the second one would be TOPPDO321@gmail, and it's pretty much like, yo, we shooting videos. We got that small thing right there. That should do wonders right there. Woo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got the studio set up, and I'm working with a great editor. I mean, editor, researcher, everything. So anybody need anything done production-wise, photo-wise, you know, once we able to start getting venues back open and need a venue to shoot at, scrimmage. But,
well, Mr. Top Dog, I thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for everything you've done for the culture. You know, you played a huge part of my 90s, so I just want to thank you for spending some time with me this evening and the fans.
Absolutely.
If you have anything coming up, make sure you send it my way so I can blast it off.
Salute. Definitely will, brother.
All right.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. That is Top Dog. I'm the journalist Sin-seer. This has been Quarantine Sessions, episode 27. Ooh. Thank you so much.
Salute.
Salute.
Bless.